Ahead of the Ondo State governorship primary election slated for Saturday, the 20th of April, the All Progressives Congress, APC, is putting finishing touches to its strategies towards a hitch-free exercise, as the party also in Edo State continues to welcome defectors from other political parties. Also, in today's political update, Social Democratic Party opens arms of partnership to government while the African Democratic Congress, ADC, proposes formation of a mega party. We have these and more on our lineup. Welcome to Political Update. I'm Fisayo Ogufui. The 98th National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party has ended with the resolve to constitute a reconciliation committee to reconcile all aggrieved members towards returning the party to a formidable one. This was part of the resolutions at the meeting held at the party's national headquarters in Abuja.
No change in the leadership of the party as acting national chairman of the PDP, Umar Damagum, continue in same acting capacity. PDP 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, his running mate Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, Rivers State Governor Sim Fubara and his counterparts from other PDP-governed states were among members that attended the NEC meeting. Members re-emphasized on the urgent need to rejig the party towards greater performance.
We must, as urgent as possible, reposition and strengthen the party for effective and constructive opposition, bringing on the table acceptable alternatives of policies and programs in the governance of our dear nation.
To further strengthen our party, we must go along the line of the 3 R's of reconciliation, repositioning, and restructuring.
The governors of the PDP are united and poised to give support to all the organs so that they can perform their constitutional functions.
Both Senate and the House of Representatives caucus of the PDP, represented by their leaders, will commit to make the party great again. The meeting is the first where all the leaders of the party came together since the last general elections. The meeting of the Board of Trustees of the party earlier held, urging leaders to quickly look into some controversies surrounding the offices of both national chairman and secretary.
As political parties in Edo await the flag off of campaigns in line with the INEC calendar, All Progressives Congress APC in the state has received defectors from other political parties who joined the party. And receiving the defectors into the fold, leader of the party in Edo State, Senator Adams Oshomole, formally announced Senator Matthew Urohide as Director General of the campaign team for the September 2024 elections in the state.
Senator Matthew Urogide, former Clerk National Assembly Patrick Giwa, and 8 former council chairmen in Edo State have led their supporters to join the All Progressives Congress as the party strategizes ahead of commencements of campaigns from 24th of this month. The defectors say they decided to join the ruling party APC because of its track records.
I'm calling back to the APC today. After 13 years and 3 months of sojourn.
I'm happy I found a party that is really democratic, really progressive. And I'm sure I'll be able to advance because my people want me to advance here in the party.
I'm happy to be back home. Want to greet all our leaders for accepting us again. Together we will be back.
For the leaders of the party, they have found Senator Matthew Urogide fit to lead them through the electioneering period.
All the experiences that you have accumulated over the years in whichever party that you were in. And I'm looking forward to working with you so that together we claim Edo State. I've accepted the position for the challenge. I want to assure you that the task is huge.
With the state's governorship election approaching, the political climate is changing and it is witnessing the alignment and realignment by politicians.
The National Working Committee of the Governing All Progressives Congress, APC, has inaugurated 2 separate committees to steer the forthcoming Ondo State governorship primary election slated for tomorrow, which is the 20th of April, 2024.
Preparation ahead of the battle for the party's ticket for the Ondo forthcoming governorship election has just begun, and those to spearhead the process have been carefully selected and inaugurated. Now, the 16 aspirants on the platform of the All Progressives Congress have been cleared to participate in the party's exercise slated for the 20th of April 2024.
He will abide by the principle, the doctrine, and the constitution of our great party.
All the 5 delegates for 203 wards in the 18 local government of the state have been duly elected.
If there's any discrepancy or if there is any disagreement, then the appeal committee will listen.
Away from the Ondo governorship primary, the national secretary of the party says the legitimacy of its national chairman, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, remains valid.
The court that has jurisdiction by the Electoral Act, which we drafted, is the Federal High Court, and the Federal High Court has said the purported suspension should may be recognized pending determination of the case.
The party says it will explore every legal avenue to ensure that those behind the unwholesome enterprise are termed to serve as deterrent for the future.
The APC primary in Ondo State is just in 24 hours, and joining us in the studio is Prince Adeni Agbede of the APC Youth Movement to preview the governorship elections scheduled for tomorrow. The gladiators are getting ready to know their fates as the delegates will be putting thumb to paper. Now, Prince, you are one of the people in the youth vanguard of the APC in your state. Will you say everything is ready for that primary tomorrow?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to the viewers. Well, my belief is that, the party APC is a very strong party, and we believe that this weekend we will be going into the primaries fully ready, and we will have a successful primaries.
When you look at the gladiators in the race, tell us how many of them eventually got in, and have they been able to speak to the party in terms of what their plans are for the state and why they should be chosen? How many of them are in the race at the moment?
Yes, for the primaries, we have a process. This process involves screening of the candidates, which this has been done, and coming out of that screening we have about 18 participants that have been termed eligible for the primaries. So we believe that these 18 candidates are the best candidates. They have been screened properly and they are ready for the contest.
All right, let's look at what happened the Edo State will come before Ondo State later in the year in the calendar. We saw what happened in Edo State. Some parties even had to have a false start, including your party. You went into the primaries eventually. Another one had to be done, and some controversies that clogged that. Have you learned from that in Ondo State? Are there any pending arguments before you go into this primary?
Of course, as a party, it is as a party that is known as the #1 party, the largest party in Africa. It is normal for us to, have some or have made some mistakes in the past, like you spoke about the Edo primaries. But moving forward, we've taken notice of these mistakes, and we have now looked at these issues that arise in the Edo primaries, and we can assure you that going into the primaries this weekend, like I said earlier, we are fully prepared and ready to go.
All right, from the youth perspective, we'll ask you questions. Many analysts say the man to replace the big shoes of late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu must be someone with courage and sagacity that he displayed as the helmsman of the state. Have you seen these qualities in the candidates this time around? Or aspirants this time around?
I mean, yes, the aspirants. I feel, like I said, the party has screened 18 contestants, and now they have been found eligible. So I believe all the participants going into the primaries have the courage, have the integrity, but what is most important is finding who is the most qualified and who is the most competent to carry the flag of the APC going into the general elections.
All right, we'll come back to that very shortly. We'll let you take a breather, and because when you know there are youth perspectives and there are delegates going into that one, tomorrow we know that it's going to be a tough one. We've been seeing what so many of the candidates, the aspirants have been saying. But let's take a breather. Let's take one or two other stories before we come back to our discussion. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, is advocating collaboration with the government to strengthen democratic institutions and make the economy viable. The national chairman of the party, Shehu Gedam, says the party's doors are open to those who share the ideology of the party towards fostering a conducive political environment for national prosperity.
The belief in the unity of the country, its diversity, and the capability of its people, the SDP National Chairman Shehu Gabam says, is the driving force for the party towards a dedicated service in the best interests of Nigerians, explaining the aspiration of SDP to become the leading party in Nigeria and beyond by proffering solutions rather than mere criticisms. The national chairman also acknowledges President Tinubu's economic policies that are achieving results in currency stability, but disagree to the removal of subsidies, particularly on fuel and electricity, which it says has further added more socio-economic burden on the shoulders of citizens.
We are not doing anything to pull down the roof. We understand the dynamics of opposition and what it takes. We have to work together with the government to strengthen the institutions of democracy, to strengthen our economy, to create an inviting political base for the country to strive. If we suffocate the system, we will all pay for it, irrespective of our party differences. In SDP, we don't belong to any of these sentiments.
Some House of Representatives members from the party urge government to adequately harness the potential of the extractive industry to take advantage of the huge gas deposit in the country to drive the transport sector and ensure reduction of market price of commodities.
We have come by way of legislation to repeal and reenact it. They enacted the law 2007 to make sure that we put in place things that will allow them the levity to make policies that will drive the solid mineral sector for us to get our place in the pride of nations.
They also advise government to be cautious of those who seek political relevance in order not to sabotage the policies meant for the good of Nigerians.
National Chairman of the SDP, Shehu Gabam, speaking on a range of issues there. Let's move quickly to the ADC. The leadership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, is wooing other opposition parties to form a consensus on how to build a mega party ahead of future elections, and the development came to the fore during a media briefing by the national chairman of the party, Ralph Nwosu, held at the party's national secretariat in Abuja.
Transitioning from our old ways and envisioning a clear pathway for our people and nation. Today, we have notable leaders and former heads of state and presidents who associate with us on the sound conviction that ADC remains the party for the future because of our values, consistency, and staying power.
All right, let's return to our guest and continue our conversation on the APC governorship primaries to be held in the state on the 20th of April, that is tomorrow in Akure, I believe. And of course, we want to ask you, Adeni Agbede, Prince Adeni Agbede of the APC Youth Movement, you said you've scrutinized 18 candidates so far. Is there a soft arrangement, some arrangement in the state in terms of where the pendulum should swing, in terms of where the governorship should come from, in terms of the senatorial district, perhaps that should go for the top seat in the state at this time?
Yes, thank you very much. Well, I will say there is a gentleman's agreement. As you know, the last governor, His Excellency Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, was from the north, Ondo North, and the governor before that, His Excellency Governor Olusegun Mimiko, was from the north, was from Ondo Central. So it is only right that we have somebody who comes from, because as you know, there's 3 regions in Ondo State. We have the Ondo Central, we have the Ondo North, and we have the Ondo South. So it is right, it is only right that we allow the Ondo South to have a turn at the governorship of the state. So I would say, well, there's something as a gentleman's agreement.
Oh,
yes.
The current helmsman, Governor Lucky Orimisan-Aida Tiwa, is there right now, is from Ondo South. It's also in the race. Is that an endorsement of what he has done so far? Has he been able to perhaps capture the imagination of the people, or perhaps while everything has been thrown open is because you want perhaps full validation to see whether I can continue, or you have someone else in the saddle?
Well, I wouldn't call it an endorsement. Well, for me, I would like to come from, or not just me, we the youths of Ondo State, we like to come from the angle of who is competent enough, who has the vision to drive Ondo State to where Ondo State needs to be as a state in Nigeria. So for me, it would not be about the region you come from, or the argument would be mainly based on your competency, how competent you are. And for me, I believe that the present governor, Governor Lucky, is the most competent and should be given a chance to continue and consolidate on the previous administration.
Well, without we've had some candidates on the program. We couldn't get His Excellency today, but his road has been a bit rough to Alagbaka at the moment, because even before he got there, a lot of push and shove before eventually he was able to move from acting to governor and all that. But has he been able to stabilize the ship at this time?
Well, we know politics is different interests groups coming in together. So
including yours, the youth movement.
Of course, politics is about different interests coming together. But what matters is, at the end of the day, whoever is able to grab the ticket, or whoever wins the ticket, what we need in the party is collaboration. Not what we need from the party is for everybody to come together and put their hands together, so that going into the general election, we can come out victorious.
All right, thank you very much for being a part of it, Prince Adeni Agbada. You are a young man. I will probably bring you in another time to see if youths are given a chance in your in the state, in positions of authority, to try a turn and see where that can go from. But let's take other stories resulting from a recent invitation extended to Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano to appear before a disciplinary committee to explain infractions on the party constitution. The factional NMPP says it is left with no choice than to suspend the governor for a period of 6 months as this controversy continues to rumble down.
If there is crisis in a party As the only governor of the party, he will have looked for an avenue to make sure that he balances the equation. And we are calling on Nigeria and other political parties to make sure that there is what is called party supremacy. Then you will see a new Nigeria we are talking about. We cannot see a new Nigeria where people in authority are misbehaving and they don't have respect to authority.
And now we end it on tussle in the youth leadership, talking about the leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, which says it will continue to support all government policies, especially those targeted at improving the welfare of Nigerian students. In a peaceful protest staged at the entrance of the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the student union representatives also pledged to support for the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Students' Engagement, as she phoned Dios Sunday, but expressed dissatisfaction over the activities of one of their members, accusing him of causing disaffection in the union as he parades himself as the national president of that union.
We want to reject Pedro. Say reject Pedro. We believe that the SGF in his capacity and hard-working leader can take issue up to Mr. President. This is our mission, this is our intention, this is our displeasure over those who want to divide our organization and turn us to a political party. We support the implementation of the student loan that many people are fighting to see that it failed. And by the special grace of God, everybody that are trying to bring this organization to his news will be disgraced. And Luther continua victorious. Thank you and God bless.
The aggrieved students union was received by the Deputy Chief of Security of the Security Officer at the SGF office, Dairu Musa, for onward action. All right, that is that. As far as that is concerned, we'll keep our eyes on Ondo State for the primaries of the different political parties, and of course the aspirants will be whittled down, and then we'll have candidates, and then we'll get set for the two governorship elections later in the year. That is political update for today. We'll be back on Tuesday with an eye on activities that happened this week, including some big supremos who have been invited to answer some questions by the financial watchdog and all that. We'll be looking at all those controversies and the push and shove in the political space. My name is Fisayo Ogunfui. Till this, between now and when we see you next, please play your politics for the greater good, and you know where to look for us when you're looking for the best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. The Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's largest and finest. Keep a day with us again on Tuesday. God bless.